Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another The Way I See It with your favorite bearded man, Bobbbaaaay. This week I wanted to talk to you guys about moving to Los Angeles. I've been getting a couple DMs, a couple emails about how I made this move to Los Angeles. I think sometimes people over-exaggerate and think Los Angeles is this imaginary city that only certain people are allowed to live there. In reality, moving to LA was like any other city. This video is going to be directly about moving to LA, but I think you could use this for if you're moving to Boston, if you're moving to Miami, Florida, to New York City. If you're moving anywhere in the world, you could pretty much take these steps and use it for whatever city you're looking into. But in my case, moving to Los Angeles, this is how I did it, and I think how you should do it. This is the way I see it. First step, very simple and easy. You want to save up money. Save up as much money as you possibly can. It does not matter where you are moving. You always want to have more than enough money. You do not want to move to a city with 2 months rent and know that you need to get things going rather quickly. I would suggest saving up maybe 6 months worth of expenses just so you have a cushion. You don't want to get to a new city and not feel obligated that you have to get a job right away. Of course you want to get a job and have a way to make some income, but you want to have a cushion so you can enjoy yourself and try out all the new spots in that city. And for instance, when moving to LA, I literally did my best for an entire year to save up as much money as I possibly could. That meant going out less. That meant making better decisions on what I was buying, eating out less. All these small decisions that I knew were gonna add up and put a couple hundred or maybe $1,000 or $2 in my bank account so that when I got to LA, I had some type of cushion. So I would suggest saving up as much money as you possibly can and just continuously remind yourself that it's gonna pay off, because when you get to LA or any other city you're trying to move to, you will have some cushion. Save up as much money as you possibly can, because you can never have enough people. That is a fact. California is not a cheap state to live in. The costs of living are for sure higher than the standard across the United States. You just want to make sure you have enough money. Step number 2 is I would recommend visiting the city beforehand. I had visited Los Angeles maybe 4, 5, 6 times before I officially moved here. That was great because every time I came to visit, I knew I wanted to be here. It was harder for me to leave every time I'd visit LA, whether it was for business, friends, whatever the case may be. I always wanted to stay longer, and that's how I knew this was the city that I needed to be. So by the time that I moved here, I was already accustomed to the area, and there was still so much to learn, but I knew this was the place I wanted to be. I think that's tough for a lot of people, and I know it's not so easy to just visit and travel to whatever city you're trying to travel to, but if you can visit as much as possible before you fully commit to living somewhere for a year. It's not always easy to move into these cities and start literally a whole new life. If you move somewhere and it's not where you want it to be, that's okay, but if you didn't take the time to really just go and visit it and travel a little bit here and there, you're really rolling some dice. You know, everybody wants to live in LA. They see everything on TV and all the movies, and when you get here, you realize it's just another city. There are your Beverly Hills, your West Hollywood, your Hollywood Hills, but there also are your lower income neighborhoods, and there's just so much that I think sometimes people forget, that it's not just this picture perfect city. There are people out here living on the streets, and there's a lot of different things going on within the city. So I would recommend, if you're trying to move to LA, visit the city as much as you can before, just to get a sense of what the city is like and maybe possible areas that you would like to live, as well as it'll give you a better understanding of what to expect when getting here. And that's the same for any other city that you might be trying to move to. Find a friend or two that might be interested in moving to LA with you, or to that other city. I think it's super important that if you can find somebody or 2 people, 3 people that are interested in making the move with you, it could help a lot. When I moved to LA, I fortunately had one of my best friends I was moving out here with. We had one of his buddies from college that I had kind of known, and that for sure helped me a lot. Definitely difficult when you first get to a new city, because you want to go make friends and you want to find like your group, and if you have 1 or 2 people that you're living with that know you and you know them, that's already just a strong start, and from there you can just grow. Now if you can't find 1 or 2 people that are willing to make the move, you still got to do it. If it's a city you're trying to move to, you have to do it. I told myself that even if my friends weren't going to LA with me, I was going. I was set in stone. I wasn't waiting a week more. I was set in stone. I'm moving to LA, and that's the same it should be for you. If you can find friends that want to make the move with you, great. It's going to make it a little bit easier to get the ball rolling. But if you can't find somebody, you still got to do it. I'll be your friend in LA. Hit me up. But seriously, make that move regardless if you can find somebody or not. It just will help a little bit to get started, but it's not the biggest deal if you can't find somebody or 2 people. Do the research. Folks, do the research. I won't lie to you. I was planning to move to LA in September. My lease in Boston was up September 1st. I said, all right, move to LA in September. It was August 1st, still had no lease. Didn't have a clue as to where I was living. I knew the budget we were trying to live on. I knew there was gonna be 3 of us, so we needed a 3-bedroom, and that's when it happened quick. Also, I realized that a lot of times you can't get on this 6 months ahead of time because not all these leases are going to be up for grabs until literally 30 days before the move-in date. So understand that you can't have this all perfectly painted and figured out 8 months ahead of time. This probably will happen very quickly, but do the research. Figure out if you're moving out here with people or without people. Figure out what you're looking to spend per month. What type of living situation are you do you want to live in? Do you want to live in a house? Do you want to live in an apartment? If you're looking to live in a house, what's your budget? You might have to live farther outside the city. I live outside of your LA proper, in a part called Sun Valley. That is, north of Burbank and North Hollywood, still LA County. But we chose out here because I could afford living and renting a house with my 2 roommates versus living in West Hollywood and not even being able to afford that anywhere close. Do the research. Check out Westside Rentals. I checked their website out. I checked Zillow was the place where we found our lease and was able to lock in something. You're gonna have to pick up the phone and call people and show interest and see what works and what doesn't. Know that getting out here is the toughest part, and getting into a lease, and maybe you want to do an Airbnb for a month and then really go and see the places. You just want to make sure you do the research on it and kind of know the area that you're moving into. If you're looking to move into Silver Lake or West Hollywood or Beverly Hills, you can find a great place online and what it looks like, but just simply go on Google and type in that location of the place that you're looking at and look at what's around it. Are there coffee shops? Is there a grocery store? Is there a gym? It can help so much by literally going into Google Maps, typing in the possible address that you're going to be living at, and just looking at within a mile, 2 miles, what is around you, what's close, what's walking distance. I do believe most people that move to LA and live in LA need a car. You can get away without it. There's Uber and stuff like that, but it is definitely a drivable city. So I would recommend that if possible. If not, like I said, there's Uber. But just do the research on where you're trying to live. Make sure you understand the numbers of what you financially can afford and what your roommates might be looking to, and just do the research. I can't say enough. Do the research. Next thing I would say is find a way to make money beforehand, before you get here, if at all possible. Once again, this should not be something that stops you from making the move. I almost believe that sometimes you need to put yourself into the environment to figure things out and everything falls into place. Kind of going back to the first thing I had said, save up as much money as possible. If you move to LA and you don't have an income lined up just yet, that's okay if you have that cushion. Just don't come here partying and letting loose every night. Get here and enjoy yourself for a couple days, maybe a week or 2, but then know you have to find a way to make money. That party's gonna come to an end, and you're gonna have to pay rent and pay expenses and bills, and if you have the money as a cushion, it'll give you time to find that job. So if you can find a way to make money before you get here, great. It's gonna be a little bit easier for you to get here and get started. I was fortunate. I was driving Uber in Boston, and moving out to LA, I knew I could just transfer everything out here. So maybe Uber is a start for you. You can use my promo code if you want to sign up, NRVT8. That's in Los Angeles or any drivers across the country. If you can have a way to make money when you get here, it'll be a little bit easier. But like I said, I also do believe sometimes you just need to throw yourself in the environment. You don't know what opportunity could present itself once you get here. So say you come here, you have no job, you have no income, you go out and you're just talking to the waiter at a restaurant you're eating at. You have waitressing or waitering experience and they're looking for somebody, boom, there's your job. So I don't think necessarily you should not move to LA or any city because you don't have a way to make income. No, you still should if that's where you're trying to go. But this is when it comes back to having money saved up, making smart decisions when you get there, and just keeping your head on a swivel for any opportunities that you might be able to make money. Just know there is always a way. You just have to believe in yourself, put yourself in the environment, and you'll figure it out. So I guess to summarize this all, like I said, I would really save up as much money as you possibly can. Visit the city beforehand if at all possible. At least you can check it out, see what areas what you like, what you don't like, get a feel for the culture, see what it's all about. You will fall in love with LA. I did when I first came out here, and I'm pretty sure everybody does that comes out here. I mean, the weather is beautiful. All all the time. It's sunny. There's so much going on all the time. I mean, how could you not love LA? So I would say visit as much as you possibly can to LA or whatever city you're trying to move to. Maybe find a friend or two that is interested in moving with you. It'll make it easier for you to get going. But if not, you still got to make the move. If it's something you want to do, don't hold back. Believe that things will fall into place, obviously, when you get there. But if you're still looking to move, you got to do it. Do the research. Kind of goes back to saving the money. Having visited the city before, do the research on Zillow, Westside Rentals, or anywhere else, and figure out where you can actually afford to live, what is going to be best for maybe the opportunities you're looking to get into. Find a way to make that money beforehand before you get here, if at all possible. But if not, just know, like I said, I can't say it enough, things will fall into place when you get here. As long as you are prepped and you know that it is grind time when you get to LA or to that major city that you're trying to move to, things will fall into place. Sometimes we just need to throw ourselves into the environment and just let things happen. And it's funny how it happens, because it does. You don't know who you're gonna meet. You don't know how the things are gonna connect until you get there. But trust the process. Trust that you making this leap of faith move, it'll work. And it's not easy, folks. Let me make this clear. I moved from Boston, Massachusetts to Los Angeles. I could not have been more further east in Massachusetts to move west, and it was the best decision I've ever made. I have not once had an ounce of regret, because I knew visiting this city, this is where I needed to be, and just always wanting to be in LA. I knew this is where I needed to be. Yes, it's tough not being close to your family, but if you're coming out here with a purpose and a dream, and it's a city that you've always wanted to check off the list, or whatever city that you're trying to move to, you got to do it. You're holding yourself back from not making that move. This is, I could sit here all day and spiel about it. When it comes to life, there's no dress rehearsal. You got to just go, and just live without regret. You got to do it. And I promise you, if LA happens to be the place you're moving to, no matter where else you're coming from in the world, Los Angeles, California, it is beautiful. Everything about it, amazing, expensive, but you will find a way to make it work. I don't have all the answers. Take it for what it is. That is the way I see it. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Drop a comment, like, subscribe, the whole shebang, if you don't mind. If there's a video you'd like me to create next, you see the content that I'm creating, you see the podcast that I do, you see anything that I post, you'd like to, learn more, or hopefully for me to make a how-to video, let me know in the comment section below. I'll definitely be reading all of these comments. You guys have a great day. Make the move to Los Angeles, make the move to wherever you're trying to go, and hopefully we'll see you out here. Have a good one.